Hello. I know I started stream an hour later than I usually do. Forgive me. I was streaming Rivals and then I streamed Minecraft all the same day today. Honestly, just because I wanted to play the two, and I just was like, why not stream at the same time? Um, and then when I realized it was really late, which I was like, I need to get up and go eat something. How about I move stream like an hour later than it usually is? Probably should have maybe moved it earlier. My bad. However, anyway, still going to start stream. Welcome back to anyone who's been following me throughout this. Anyone who's like been listening for more than a minute probably will realize that I no longer have a smoke alarm beep, and it's as I explained in my Minecraft video. I'm going to kick the living shit out of my brother because he told me that the smoke alarms in my house were meant to beep like that because they're all connected. They're communicating, is what he told me. No, turns out it was just a single extra carbon monoxide one that I had that was like older that I didn't find, and that one just, it was dead, and it was the one that was beeping. And honestly, I didn't find that out until someone came to the house to like look at things because our smoke alarms went off like all weirdly, and I don't know. But he helped me find it, and bless my boyfriend's heart, he actually did tell me that it was that one a long time ago, but I got confused because he's like, it's the one in the hallway, and I'm like, which one? There's like 3 in the hallway. No, it was one that was like right above my door, right next to it, and I just fully didn't notice it, and I couldn't pinpoint where the sound was coming from till that guy came over and like looked over the house. So it is gone now. No more beep. Now all you have to deal with is my mic quality, which I don't think is bad mic quality, but anyway, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. I hope the fact that I started stream a little like an hour later isn't too disruptive to anyone. But if you are here, thank you very much for being here. But yeah, without further ado, I'd like to continue my run of Erend's storyline because it was just so delightful, and I really enjoyed it a lot. And I also realized how much I'm missing, how many gaps of lore is in my head about like Horizon Zero Dawn, like the Horizon series, like forgive me, I'm like I've been sick, so if I sometimes get weird or if my voice sounds a little woo, it's because I've been sick, and it's been a week. It's been a week for me. But yeah, last time I realized I have a lot of gaps in my knowledge about Horizon lore, which only makes me want to replay the games, honestly. But yeah, and without further ado, I keep saying without further ado, but like, woo. Back to Erend and our very epic romance. Oh no, I forgot that I was left on a choice. I mean, how did I forget that I was left on a choice? I'm not really truly sure, because all things considered, Oh, also, I have new Wi-Fi too, so if there's any issues with like lag or stuff like that, which I imagine there wouldn't be with this game, um, that would be the reason why. Oh, but how did I forget that we were left off on a choice though? How did I forget? All things considered, because like I'm like, it was in the thumbnail on the load. Actually, give me a second. One second. I need to do something real quick. Because I realized that my brightness isn't very bright and I can't see very well. So let me up that a bit by somewhat of a degree and make that very clear. Wonderful. Yeah, I still haven't fixed the overlay in chat though. Let me check that real quick. Did that fix anything? It hasn't been fixed all that well. We're gonna go back to full game because I prefer it that way anyhow. I don't know why. I'm looking at the chat right now, and for some reason it keeps saying like reconnecting to the chat. That way anyhow. I don't know why it keeps saying you're connected to the chat. Okay. Wonderful. Okay, that should be better. That's better now. Yeah, that's much better. Oh, yeah, because Erend was like, oh, like, okay, so in my opinion, I think it would be nice to just ask him, like, how does he, yay, hello, hi, my sweet, darling, mod boyfriend, I saw your emote, thank you very much, that actually, my chat's working now, or at least for me, it's working now, I can see stuff now. Wonderful. Let me see. Do I want to talk about it? Well, do I? I want to talk about it. I'm not gonna force him to talk about it, but I'm over here trying to like, would I? Like, do you want to talk about it? It's alright. Nice of you to offer, though, Aloy. Maybe some other time, when there isn't a murderous space monster hurtling through the stars to end us. Well, I mean, we don't know. Actually, no, we do know how long it'll take. I just forget what the time frame is for Nemesis to arrive on Horizon World. Honestly, he's so cute. Kudos to the artist. I just love how you draw Erend. Look at him. Look at him. Aloy is seconds away from bringing up Seika. She's overwhelmed with a sense of empathy for Erend, knowing some of what he's feeling, even without knowing the details. The wistfulness in his face snags on something jagged and hungry in her own heart. Ooh. I mean, we actually don't know how long it'll take. I thought for sure that we were given like a time frame, like it was gonna happen soon. Again, it's... It is? That's even worse. That's scarier. That's terrifying. You know what? Maybe that's why I thought to myself that there is an actual time frame. Because that's less scary to me. That's much less terrifying to think about it if it's not like a looming threat. No, it is a looming threat. They have no idea. So, honestly, Erend's like, well, we don't have a nemesis hanging over our heads, which could be in a month or in like maybe 10 years from now. Who knows? So he's putting a very indefinite time limit on talking about his ex. Oh man. I'm sure considering how Erend, like, it's not the same thing and he's gotten his act together since then, but considering how he reacted when Ursa died, he was very into his cups then, and I don't imagine whatever happened with his ex had a similar probably maybe had a similar conclusion for Erend. Right? It has to be as soon. Because otherwise, like, game 3 would be weird. Like, I would hate for there to be, like, a massive time skip between last game and new game. Like, I honestly think the sweet spot is maybe, like, in a year's time. And within the game, we get right after. Because, like, for between Horizon Dawn and Forbidden West, there was at least a little tiny bit of a time skip. Like, the smallest. Not a huge. Just, like... It's like a couple of days after they defeated, you know, Hades and everyone, I believe. I'm a little fuzzy on the details, I will admit. But anyway, going off of, like, Aloy. Okay, I kind of love how, like, I know her and and Seika, like, parted on good terms, but on bittersweet terms, because, like, Seika has her own thing to do, and Aloy does her own thing to do, and, like, honestly, I don't know. In terms of like a future together, I don't know if Seika and Aloy are there yet, especially considering their whole. Because I just did the Seika playthrough, which was very well written, and I enjoyed very deeply. And honestly, it did put in perspective like what a future would for the two of them would look like. But it would definitely be a long distance relationship. But the thing is, like Aloy, considering everything that she does, it would be a long distance relationship for everyone. And once Nemesis is put down, who knows what Aloy would be doing? Probably be still bringing focuses and knowledge to the world. Like, because they still don't have a copy of, I think, Apollo, or at least a full one. I know the Quinn have something of the sort because of their focuses and because they're older. But I'd imagine that would probably be her life's work after the fact. I'm getting like carried away now. But like my focus here is the fact that like Aloy's like she's like thinking of Seika as like an ex, even though nothing actually happened except for a kiss. Like they had chemistry, and they didn't have much of a like an actual concrete relationship beyond their whole adventure together, realizing they had chemistry and having feelings for each other, and like the amount of how much they related to each other. It was the possibility, the beginning of, oh, this is something I could be open to, but ending it because it's not something that they can do now. So I kind of love how that she like. I don't know, how did Erend describe it? Because I left off. I'm gonna look at what it said beforehand about his ex. Because I forget. I know he said it wasn't like a big thing. Let me see. Oh yeah, not even sure if it lasted long enough to claim we were together. But yeah, circumstances had a bit different. Oh, it's exactly kind of more like. It's exactly more or less like the situation that I like with Seika. So, okay. Makes so much sense. Never mind. Anyway, let's go on. She realized she wants him to open up to her about Sylgund. Which is strange. She's never really wanted that from anyone before. She wants to open up to him too. It scares the shit out of her. But there's a strange new boldness brewing inside of her too. For the first time ever, the prospect of risking a little piece of herself to gain a little piece of someone else excites her. Erend, She's interrupted by the sound of the barman calling out, "Handor!" somewhere to their left. Turning, she spots the very person they are looking for, sidling up next to them. He's a friendly-looking man, round and pink-cheeked. Erend has also spotted him, and doesn't waste time getting to his attention. I know you're the more important thing, but dang you for interrupting. You Handor? The one and only. Gover says some strangers were looking for me. Suppose that's you too? I don't know why I decided that when I do the deep voice for the Yasserong that it has to have like a southern twang to it. I have no idea why that's my decision, or if that's just because my voice work and like accent is just not good. The one and only. Now I just made it sound like Yogi Bear. Picnic basket, boo boo. No, you know what? I'm gonna make him Yogi Bear now. The one and only. Gopher says some strangers are looking. I'm sorry, I can't take myself seriously doing that. Come on, listen. I can channel it. I can do it. The one and only. Gopher said some strangers were looking for me. Suppose that's you two. What sort of gears could you have to grind all the way out here? Erend slides the device across the bar for Handor's inspection. Next 2 rounds are on me if you can point as to where this came from. I can tell you, but I do find it curious that a couple of outlanders would travel all this way to ask about a piece of scrap. Aloy begins to rack her brain for an explanation, realizing they should have thought of one beforehand, but Erend, it seems, is already prepared. Sure. It looks like just a piece of scrap, but I know a talented tinkerer that's figured out how to wire them up to get voices out of them. Messages from the old ones. Fascinating stuff, really. She'll pay handsomely for any we find, so we'd like to track them to the source to make sure there aren't more. Handor considers this for a moment, but eventually shrugs, appearing to accept the explanation. It's about a half-day journey up the river. There's a shortcut through a crevasse you should be able to spot easily enough. Once you get to the other side, you won't be able to miss the tents. The delve is right at the base of Delver's grasp. Are they fine? Are they friendly, these delvers? Unless you give them a reason not to be. Erend slides a few shards across the bar to the barman, jerking his thumb towards Handor. Get this guy a couple of rounds of whatever he wants. Thanks for your help, brother. They bid Hondur farewell, and Erend wanders off to talk to the innkeeper about a pair of rooms for the night. Aloy sips her drink as she waits, trying not to wince at the sourness as she mulls over what they learned. Can they even trust Handor? She can't help but feel a little uneasy about how eagerly he answered their questions. It's a trap! It's a trap, Aloy! Listen to your instincts. Though I'm sure they'll just get trapped together and then have to be forced to talk to each other about feelings. I'm sure. I'm drinking water. Eee! After a few moments, Erend returns to the bar with a rueful look on his face. So I begged and pleaded, but all they've got available is one room. I knew it! 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 Romance trope 101, fanfic trope 101. You never fail me, and I love it. I adore it. That's the best thing ever. Thank you again, writers of Focus on the Heart. So I begged and pleaded, but all they got available was one room with 2 beds. Don't worry though, you can have it. I've got all my gear, and I'll set up camp near the Sunwing. It's 2 beds, Erend. It's not like you guys are sleeping in the same one. Not yet, at least. it's just one room. Honestly, other fanfic tropes would make it 1 room, 1 bed. You like if it. It's like ooh. Aloy smiles, something strange and warm expanding between her ribs at how flustered he is. She doesn't have to think about it. She knows there's no chance she's letting him camp out by himself. Why would I do that? You said there are 2 beds, right? Well, sure, but I don't want to intrude on your privacy or anything. Erend, it's not like we're going to have our own rooms when we're out in the wilds. Sharing will be fine. Next morning, somehow you 2 fell off the bed. One of you fell off the bed, rolled into the other bed, and are now intertwined. No. Oh, okay. I like how the lights are dimmed, like for the character models. Like this, the background is still the inn, like the bar, just kind of like, and we don't see the beds, but I kind of love how the lighting makes it feel like, oh, it's moonlit in the darkness of the room. Beautiful. Love the attention to detail. Wonderful. As soon as they are preparing for bed, however, Aloy notices sleeping in the same room is not as easy to shrug off as she's anticipation. I've never watched Rocky Horror Show. I've just seen that clip lots of times. I had the chance to when I was in high school. I didn't go watch that showing, but I remember I was at a kind of summer campy thing, and they showed us the room. Which was a lot of fun. Tommy Wiseau. It's like, you're tearing me apart, Lisa. Anyway, I get sidetracked easily. But yeah, anticipation, as she anticipated. There's something unsettlingly intimate about being in the same space as they remove their gear and go through their bedtime rituals. Aloy's like peeking over her shoulders, like with her eyes, just like trying to be subtle, but kind of failing, not failing, and Erend's just very hard trying to stare at the wall and not look at all. And it's probably that's she finds herself charmed by the silliest things, like the way he scratches the back of his neck while he cleans his teeth, or how his face scrunches up when he scrubs it with a damp cloth. Oh, she's got it bad. That's cute. There's a strange pang of longing in her chest when he smiles at her before climbing into bed. She can vividly imagine how wonderful it would be to fall asleep with his arms around her. That's cute. you know, are you squeeing? You're squeeing. It's cute. I always love it when, like, stories of any sort, when it comes to romance, that, because honestly, a lot of times stories, like media, stuff like that, will tend to focus on, like, the sexy time thing is, and I won't lie, my mind went a little bit to sexy time, but I actually do super appreciate that the intimacy is just simply the mundanity of it, getting to see him in this particular space and with this sort of vulnerability. He's getting ready for bed, doing ablutions, it's not something that you see on the regular for someone that you are not immediately close to. And if you're in a romantic partnership, then that's going to be like an everyday thing to some degree. I kind of like enjoy that a lot, and it's just adorable. She's got PJ. She got pajama bottoms. Look at that. Also, look at the glow from the focuses. Is his bigger than hers? Okay, don't hate me. Don't hate me. I just realized something. When I said, is his bigger than hers? Look at my cursor. Where I had it. I mistook the cursor for Erend's focus, which now makes me realize I'm just gonna... One second. I'm gonna sink to the floor for a second while I fucking writhe embarrassed over not noticing this. The cursor is shaped like a focus. And I just realized this. No, don't. No, don't send that. I just noticed this. I just noticed that the cursor looks like a focus. And I don't know how I didn't, like, realize this at first. I think maybe, like, subconsciously I did, but oh my gosh. I should be, like, more focused over this, like, full illustration that's so pretty and beautiful with the light, the moonlight, the windows, the candlelight. Aloy looking over at Erend longingly while his back is turned to her. And one of her pillows on the ground. That's super cute because Aloy probably just gets overheated. Which I imagine she'd get overheated over looking at Erend while he's sleeping. Anyway. Okay. I'm going to collect myself. I'm going to calm down. Stand back up so I can continue the thing. I cannot believe I didn't notice that. Anyway, I mean, like, look at all this. Look at the shadows. The soft, like, color, like, the highlights and colors on the planks, and the little rug down here that's really nice too. Like, the way her blanket kind of, like, pushed off pulls on the floor. The perspective work is very nice here. Why is my computer turning on and off? Is something wrong? Oh, it's not connected correctly. 1 second. Wonderful. It has this habit of, like, if I have the power connected, it'll, like, turn on and off whenever I connect the power. This is not connected right. Anyway. This is nice. The colors, the platter here, the steel platter that has a chip in it, the wear and tear. The metal stuff here. That gives you that kind of Oseram feel. I don't know, they always have these, like, kind of buckles and belts and, like, metal bits that kind of, like, I mean, everything has these middle bits, but, like, they have a particular style. Something I also love about the Horizon universe is how well they designed a lot of the looks for each tribe and their clothing, which is, again, what I dislike about the Hunter's Gathering thing, is that the playable characters in that, majority of the female characters do not look like they belong in Horizon, just by their fashion alone. Anyway. Ugh. Sighing, Aloy blows out the candle and kicks her blankets to the foot of the bed. As is her habit, she wants to put words to the feelings flowing through her, but is completely at a loss as to how. Her heart seizes as his soft voice finds her ears in the darkness. Are you asleep? No. Night, Aloy. She's not sure what makes her say it, but the words seem to tumble out of her unbidden. Erend, I'm glad you're here on this mission and just in general. There's a moment of hesitation, and she can hear the smile in his voice when he replies. I'm really glad I'm here too. I got a good feeling about this one. We're gonna find something. Something about his tone and the warmth of his voice soothes her in a way that takes her by surprise. She's not sure what it is, but there's something about his presence that makes her feel completely at ease. The emotions that fill her when she's near him feel connected to that elusive concept of home she's been so desperate to understand. People you want to be with. She does want to be with him, but she craves something deeper than just his physical presence. She wants more, but how can she possibly take that step with so much on her shoulders? Yeah, it's a bit scary, isn't it, Aloy? Unlike with Seika, you had something kind of that related to it a little bit, the weight of something. I mean, for you, it's a lot heavier considering the legacy behind who you are and what you were made to do, and what you. God, it's always kind of crazy to think about how Aloy was just an outcast girl in the Nora, and how she was then catapulted into all this craziness about being a clone and having to save the world from like AI threats over and over again, fighting machines. The machines are like a normal part of it, but like, and then just getting catapulted into like a level of like respect and reverberation and esteem that she never once got as a child growing up. That, oof. But still, because she has such compassion and sense of responsibility, which thanks to Rost, because Rost, his devotion is something that Aloy never understood, because that same devotion is what led her to being an outcast and facing all the cruelty that she did. So she never felt any kind of loyalty towards that. But Rost believed in the mothers. He believed in all of it, in the All Mother. He believed fervently and was very loyal. But he cared so much and had so much love and compassion that despite being like the very stern kind of stoic father figure, Aloy never once felt, I think, unloved by Rost. I think because he was ever so outwardly loving is also part of the reason she's always had, because one, she's never had much interaction with other people. And two, uh, Ross was never like someone to talk a lot about that stuff. But like she knew. So coming to having that now with everything on top of it, I think it's just, I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. Let's keep going. I hope so. Good night, Erend. Ailey closes her eyes, and with the comfort of having Erend nearby, falls asleep faster than she has in ages. Hmm. No, trauma from the Kraken thingy, or the Dread, not the Dreadmaw. It's not the Kraken spec either. Well, I know this mysterious machine that attacked her will never have a name and doesn't actually play into the end of it, but I'm so curious. She can't breathe. Her lungs are bursting, and she's surrounded by cold, wet, submerged. She kicks her legs hard, adrenaline and desperation rippling through her burning muscles. Her vision is full of stars behind a lens of rippling water. She's not sure if it is night sky or a sign that her brain is dying. Ugh. After everything, she's going to meet her end here, alone, taken out not by an evil AI, but by a stupid mistake. She tries to scream, but her lungs fill with water, and she begins to sink, stretching one hand towards the sky that's going black at the edges. There's a warm weight on her shoulder, and layer by layer, consciousness begins to return. Aloy jolts upright in bed, shivering with sweat. A pair of large, gentle hands engulf hers. Erend. Oh. Hey, you're okay. It was a dream. That's it. Just breathe. It's too dark to see his face, but his touch makes it easier to slow her heart. It's just a nightmare. I'm sorry I woke you. Nah, it's okay. I'm just a light sleeper. You were thrashing around, whimpering. Want to tell me about it? She does. So much. I've been getting them ever since that fight that broke my leg. Though not as often these days. It was a close call. Closer than I'd like to admit. I don't know. You're what? Sorry. Ugh. 1 second. I'm leaning into the vocal fry. The sickness. Get down with the sickness. No. You're what? A little worried that I'm cracking, I guess. That I've pushed myself too hard for too long. I've nearly died countless times, but for some reason, with this one, it really rattled me. Usually I can shrug these things off. You're the strongest person I know, Aloy. The burden you've been carrying these last few years, it's more than most people would see in 100 lifetimes. You know it's okay to crack a little, right? Doesn't make you any less capable of doing what needs to be done. Aloy considers those words as her heartbeat begins to slow, the fog of sleep and Erend's touch softening her. Thanks, Erend. You being here, it helps. Good. Keep letting me help, Aloy. I'll always be here to hold you up if it gets too heavy. Something warm and sweet swells beneath her breastbone at the words, as she squeezes both of his hands, unsure how to respond. Silently, he helps her lie down again, covering her with a blanket and resting a heavy hand on her shoulder for a moment. Try to go back to sleep. I'll be here if you need me. The mattress creaks as he stands back up to return to his own bed. And all Aloy can think about as she drifts back into unconsciousness is how nice it would have been if he had stayed. Aloy slips out of the room early the next morning, trying not to let herself linger on the sight of Erend's peaceful, sleeping face. Trying not to let herself think about how inviting he looks. Yum yum. Before long, he joins her downstairs for breakfast, and they agree that leaving the Sunwing behind will be the best. Alarming the Delvers by flying into camp on a machine doesn't seem like the best foundation for negotiating entry into the ruin. Ooh, we're outside in the forest. The assets are very nice. Listen to the sound of them walking in the grass. Chick, chick, chick. So they proceed on foot, Erend walking beside her with more levity in his gait than usual, his face brightened by both the morning light and the smile on his face. Aloy can't help but study him for a moment, her gaze drawn to the sparkle in his eyes and the cheerful curve of his lips. She's certain she wears a similar expression. They're always in their element when they're together. Something about being with him always feels so right. And realizing that sets off a little flutter in her chest. Butterflies! As they continue down the path, she finds her mind straying back to the interaction between Erend and Sylgan at the tavern last night. She can't explain why, but she wants to know more. It makes her feel connected to him somehow, discovering that he has someone in his past too. It's like, hey, you also had someone that you kind of almost had, but then it wasn't right timing, and it felt weird, right? Yeah. I don't know, for some reason I just kind of want to go, hello, my darling, hello, my darling, hello, my ragtime doll. And that's not sure what about this makes me want to just start going like dancing with a cane and a top hat. And for some reason, she doesn't want to examine that too closely. She's eager to know if he still has lingering feelings for the man. I mean, it also could just be curiosity, but you like him and you want to understand what exactly went on. You want to relate to him. You have found something relatable, something in both your romantic past that can bring you closer. Also, you just like him and you want to know more about him. So, the man we met in the tavern, Silgund, he meant something to you, didn't he? More than just a fling, I mean. Erend hangs his head for a minute, frowning. That vulnerable look is back on his face again. Just for a split second before relaxing into his usual good-natured grin. You don't miss much, do you? Yeah, you got me. We weren't together for long, but we were young and it was intense while it lasted. He was my comfort when Jiran was holding Ursa captive. Oh. What happened? Did he hurt you? Didn't sit right with Solgun allying with the Carja to fight in the Liberation. He couldn't trust Abad after what Jiran had done to his family. He refused to come with us and he wanted me to leave with him, but I needed to be at Ursa's side. And he knew that. So we parted ways. That must have been hard. I'm sorry. He smiles at that. He smiles that Erend's smile of his and waves her words away. She knows what it looks like by now and when he's masking difficult emotions with a grin. She wishes she could tell him that he doesn't have to do that with her. The little pride flag heart. It's been years. I don't even think about it that much anymore. But it's like an old wound, you know? Every now and then it aches a little, even though it's healed. Aloy knows that all too well. She has had many long healed battle wounds that still ache like that from time to time. And he's right. It's similar to the ache she felt after leaving Seiko behind. But she senses it's not just the broken attachment that causes it. It's also a yearning to know what could have been. That she allowed herself to find out what came next. She wants to know what it feels like to get that close to someone. What is love, baby? Sorry. She's not ignorant of the fact that this ache has been fading faster and faster as she spends more time around Erend. Being close to him creates a new, completely different sort of ache within her. The Erend ache is so much harder to ignore. Does she even want to? Before she can reconsider, something inside of her decides she's done keeping it from him. The truth wants to burst from her, especially with that kind, genuine way he's looking at her. At this point, it feels like lying, especially now that he's shared something so personal with her. I actually do know. I have an ache like that. Fresher than yours, though. Oh, yeah? Since the last time I saw you? When I was in Burning Shores, Seika, she told me she had feelings for me before I left. I think I had feelings for her too. I definitely felt something. But it was my first time having to face that head on, and it felt so, I don't know, weird. And there's still so much to do. I told her goodbye and haven't looked back. Erend is quiet a moment, then surprises her with a gentle hand on her upper back. It makes her feel warm everywhere. Hey, even if it didn't come to anything, just being open to it is big. You deserve to be happy, Aloy. And anything could happen, right? You might see her again. Something unpleasant squirms inside of her at his words, and it takes her a moment to understand why. Yeah, he thinks you still are in love with her, or like hung up on her. So he's like, well, this is where this is going. Let me support my friend. Which, honestly, kudos to him. He's a good man. What? But then it hits her. She doesn't want Erend to want her to be with someone else. She wants that idea to bother him, the same way the idea of him being with someone else bothers her. Well, how do you know it doesn't bother him? Maybe he's just being nice about it. I mean, like straight up. I don't know. Considering how his whole thing is like, I thought I was flirting with a girl in some backwater village at the end of the world, but at the edge of the world, but now I realize I was lucky to even have a moment of your time. It's like, come on. Like, Erend is like, he's a respectful guy. Respectful guy, and also realized that he was like, him saying that also makes me think that he definitely feels himself like not good enough for Aloy. So it is multiple different factors. He's just a good guy. Doesn't also probably doesn't feel good enough for you. Also, you just told him that you like someone else, and he's gonna be like, I mean, you're besties, and he's gonna be a good bestie. So it happens. It happens. Which I appreciate, you know? It's a strange feeling, sort of inverted jealousy. It feels childish, but she can't deny that it's there. She wants him to only want her, and she wants him to want her to only want him. It's all she can do not to laugh at the silliness of it. Eyebrows gathering, she finally responds. Eee, it's in the past for now. Uh, I think I made the right choice. I don't know, it's not necessarily the right choice. But saying I don't know if I want to see her again is a little wishy-washy. Saying it's in the past for now, is I think the truth of it, and makes it clear that I'm not looking to reconcile it or make it better for now. Oh my gosh. Honestly, I can relate to some of this storyline. Maybe that's part of the reason I like it so much. Again, good job, writers. I'm gonna go with the past for now. Anyway, sorry, didn't mean to pry. It's just something that's been on my mind a lot lately. It's in the past, at least for now. Of course, it's been on your mind. First love is something that never really leaves you. Aloy is a little taken back at the word love. It feels like a big word to describe the short time she had with Seika. But you can feel it. It's a thing. I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna like dismiss it, you know, because like someone can feel a thing, and you can't really tell someone else that they can't be feeling a thing. It's real to you, or real in that moment, and well, you had like a connection. I don't know if that's what love is or not, but like, it's funny. Being in love with someone is still hard to describe sometimes. Because like the way Mia depicts it is always such a big bombastic thing that it rarely like describes it in the more smaller mundane ways, the easy ways, the not the hard ways. They always do the most dramatic ways. So it feels good. Feels nice, feels secure. And if it's like a moment of connection, then that's what it is. But Aloy probably would be freaked the fuck out by that. I do like the Seika storyline was like definitely filled with that like bigness of like what do we do with this? What do we call this? How does this feel? It would take a while. But she knows protesting will lead to more questions, and she's ready for a less emotional conversation. Yeah. She's like, I want to know more about you. And then when it's turned around and when you do something, well, I mean, she offered it. But like, now she's like, I don't know if I'm ready for this. I broached the subject, but now I'm slightly freaking out. It looks like we're getting close. I think I see smoke rising over there. Nice, Italy. Nice. Great deflection. A plus. Amazing. Changing a subject. You get a gold star. There are a few beats of companionable silence, and Noe fixes her eyes on the mountain in the distance. It's tall enough to be capped with snow, framed perfectly by the walls of the crevasse. Is that the Delver's grasp up ahead? Yep, all sorts of old stories about curses and ancient traps around Delver's grasp. I heard there used to be a lot more ruins out there, but it's stripped clean over the years from blasting. Once they once they struck copper, it was all over. I wonder if our curious little device has something to do with that. There's a good chance it does. Metallurgic was a mining company, and a big one at that. It makes sense for them to have operations here if there's an abundance of precious metals. Explains why the ruin is underground. Think we might find something we need in there for Nemesis? I know better than to hope by now, but Laundry Surgeons seem to think so. If there's something to find, we'll find it. Nothing gets past your spear and my hammer, right? Something about the way he says it to comforts her. This is around the time she would start getting. She would. I can't speak. I can't talk. Give me like a sec. I can find it again. I'll find it. Okay. This is around the time she would be gritting her teeth in anxiety if she was alone. But Erend's presence provides something she hasn't had before. He steadies her in a way that no one else ever has. Okay, game, you need to stop making me relate to this, okay? you gotta stop it. The idea of keeping him by her side on a more permanent basis sounds more and more appealing. She had always felt an attachment to him, but this feels more like a need. And yet 3 months ago she told Seika she didn't have space for it. And nothing significant has changed about her circumstances. It's because you're open to it now. It's because you put yourself out there at least once. And also all the examples of Forbidden West that you saw of like people and having connections, loss and love and loving. You saw all of it. Why does making space for it now suddenly seem so possible? Because you see it now. Because you've opened yourself to it. Because you fought so hard and now you have an actual support network. You're not alone anymore, Aloy. You have a future. Even with Nemesis looming over it. Another hour of walking puts the Delver's camp in their sights. Tents are set up in a circle around what looks like to be a break in the rock, likely leading down into the ruins the Delvers are excavating. Desperate tools and containers of empty blaze canisters are scattered among Metallurgic's ancient mining apparatus, overtaken by foliage and rust, but otherwise perfectly frozen in time. What a wow. The camp is completely silent. It hasn't been empty for long. Weak wisps of smoke still curl up from the fire pits, and Ailey can see the telltale glow of dying embers even from a distance. Where is everyone? That's weird. Think they're all inside the ruin? These fires were only just put out. Could be, but you think they at least have a lookout. They slow their approach as they move past the empty tents, straining their ears for signs of life. Ailey keeps her hand on her bow, and Erend reaches back to unclip his hammer. It's quiet. Too quiet. The hairs on the back of Aloy's neck start to stand up as she listens. At this time of day, the camp should be buzzing with activity. The ops room are never quiet, especially when there's delving to do. Ayla raises her hand to her focus as they step into the center of the ring, but she's not quick enough. A soft whistle from somewhere to her left confirms her fears. It's a trap! It's a trap! I knew it! I knew it! I knew it. Oh my gosh. But before we go into that, I need more water, so I'm going to take a quick break and I'll be right back before we get into the action here. And we're back. Hello. Hello, my happy little beans. I don't know. It was something I thought I was gonna say for like because I'm called Nixie Beans and like I thought like anyway I'm not explaining it any further. We're going back into it. I got my water. I said hi to my cats who are very cute. All right, let's get into this thing. Ayla raises her hand to her focus as they step into the center of the ring. But she's not quick enough. A soft whistle from somewhere to her left confirms her fears. Her eyes dart around as she begins to pick up movement all around them. Oseram are emerging from hiding spots. Okay, I ate some chips too, and clearly that made my throat a little. Ugh. Ugh. All right. Their bows trained on air. Oh, wait. Sorry for like the noises. Also were emerging from hiding spots, their bows trained on Aloy and Erend. Before she could say a word, an arrow slices through the air, piercing deep into the ground directly in front of her feet. Without taking another second to think, Aloy grabs Erend by the elbow and hauls him behind the first cover she spots, a junk pile only a few steps away. They just manage to dive behind it before another arrow ricochets off of Erend's boot. You missed! How could you miss? No, I am glad they missed, but that's so funny. No friendly greetings from this lot, I guess. I'll take out the archers on the wall, and I'll pick off the stragglers. Ayla rises up just enough to loose an arrow, catching one of the Oseram looming above with a perfect headshot. There's a shout of outrage, and more arrows rain down in response, but the scrap pile is just tall enough to protect them. After a moment, the onslaught abates, and Erend just makes a gesture to indicate his intention to charge into the fight. She nods, moving out of cover just enough to try and draw their fire while he barrels fearlessly into battle. 3 brawny delvers are there to greet him, weapons raised as he approaches. He catches the first with a single blow to the ear, sending the man crashing to the ground as he kicks another opponent into a pit. He spins towards the third, using the momentum to feed the swing of his hammer. It connects perfectly, catching the enemy in the stomach before she even has a chance to attack. Aloy focuses on finishing off the last of the archers, but she manages quickly enough. She turns back to check on Erend, who is standing with his hammer at the ready. The woman he'd hit in the stomach is creeping up behind him, something sharp in her hand. Sorry. More water. Knowing she won't be fast enough to take another attacker down before she reaches Erend, Aloy cries out to him. Erend, behind you! Oh, I love how you can already see the scrapes and scraps on Aloy's face. He reacts without hesitating, swinging his hammer around hard and catching the would-be backstabber in the temple. Ow. She goes down without making a sound, still and unmoving in the dirt. Glancing around to be sure there are no other incoming attacks, he steps back and flashes Aloy a grin. Save my ass again! Guess I like having you around. They walk from body to body, checking for pulses, and glancing into hiding places to be sure there are no more surprises waiting for them. Soon they meet back at the center of the ring, both smiling for the high of a battle won. Handor threw us straight into a trap, didn't he? I'm gonna give that scorched out scrap heat a taste of steel and lightning when we get back to town. Strange that they would just attack us on sight. Maybe they thought we had something worth stealing? I would have preferred not to start the day with bloodshed. Aloy sighs with regret, looking around at the mess. Feels bad to just leave the bodies, but there's no time for burials. The sooner they can get in and out of the ruins, the better. Burials. Come on, let's find a way inside. The entrance has to be around here somewhere. Right behind you, Aloy. Alright, 1 second. I need to go grab something really quick. I'll be right back again. It'll take me like a minute. I'm back, and there's like a Jeff. I'm back again. Oh, okay. 1 second. I have returned. I'm very sorry. It's note to self, or actually note to everyone: don't eat oily chips when you're sick, because it actually makes the worse. Anyway, Aloy has to use her focus to find the entrance to the ruins, and after some searching, a small hatch embedded into the ground lights up in gold on her display. It's been hidden beneath a pile of scrap metal. The piece is twisted and mangled from the explosives. She can only hope they haven't been blasted away anything important. The scrap is heavy, but they work as quickly as they can, tossing pieces away one by one. Beneath the hatch is a vertical tunnel with a ladder attached to one side, dimly lit by safety lights. Looks like we're going in blind. Let me go first. There's an attack waiting. It makes more sense for me to absorb the hit. Then you can come in swinging. Aloy wants to argue. She's used to leading by default, but she knows he's right. He's built to withstand impact, even without his heavy Vanguard armor. She finds herself appreciating how hard that bristleback must have hit him to actually manage to knock him off his feet. I don't like it, but you're right. Be careful, Erend. Move slow and keep an ear out for threats. You got it. He moves towards the hatch, beginning to ease himself down the ladder. Touching the first rung appears to activate some sort of sensor, and Erend gives a little jerk of surprise at the hum that accompanies the bright lights blinking on in the tunnel and below them. Moving slowly, he descends into the tunnel, followed closely by Aloy. It seems to take forever, but eventually she hears his boots scuffling on the metal floor. Scuffling on the metal floor. I'm sorry. It seems to take forever, but eventually she hears his boots scuffling on a metal floor. All clear. It's a damn mess down here. Are we in the museum? From last time? Ooh, it is a museum from last time. It's the museum from last time. What can you do? She sees what he means as she drops down from the ladder into the space below. They're in what seems to be some sort of server room, but it looks more like a garbage pit. There's scrap metal and other debris scattered everywhere, escaping from the cascading piles stacked haphazardly in the corners. They've ripped to shreds. You're going to be lucky to find anything useful. Yeah, well, be careful. These seem like the types of delvers who would leave traps around. Should anyone try to sneak inside while they're gone? Especially after that greeting, I'm not sure if our focuses will be able to detect them, so tread carefully. Aloy isn't used to someone else having knowledge she doesn't, and she has more confidence in the focus's ability to detect such things than he seems to. But she finds she doesn't mind Erend offering up his expertise. How does Aloy respond to Erend? Let me do a quick scan. This is hardly my first ruin. Okay, we'll keep our eyes peeled. Well, give your trust to him. I mean, in the game, it would always prompt me to be like, maybe I should use my focus. Like, if I took a little too long, and that always pissed me off. I'm like, wait, I'm looking around. It's pretty. Stop prompting me already. You know? But in this case, I will defer to him. Yeah, sure, it's not my first ruin. This is not my first rodeo, Erend, but you know more about Oseram than I do. So I will defer to you. Okay, we'll keep our eyes peeled. I knew bringing you was a good idea. Let's keep our eyes peeled. What are we looking for? Tripwires, nets? Could be anything. My cousin Marta would used to make these snares. You would swear were invisible until you got caught in one. Had a counterweight on them that could suspend a full-grown man in the air by the ankle. People knew better than to stiff around any delve she was working on. Well, let's hope she wasn't on this one. There's only one door in the room, its hollow lock active and glowing. Aloy spins it, waiting for it to slide open with a metallic hiss, before activating her focus to inspect the dark hallway that awaits them on the other side. I'm sorry. I choked on my spit. Lights begin to flicker on from the floor, accompanied by a low, soothing hum. Aloy immediately feels at peace. There's something almost homey about a new ruin to explore. Some of her most important discoveries have been made in places just like this. And somehow having Erend here with her just feels natural. Looks clear. We'll start with the closest rooms and work our way outwards. You take the right, I'll take the left. Let's stay within shouting distance, just in case. Their gazes meet, and Aloy nods her agreement. Try not to notice the soft white lights illuminate Erend's eyes. He grins at her and jerks his thumb a little awkwardly around. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah. I'm Dracula again. Listen. Sometimes I go a little fast, and if that's a crime, then I would be in jail 1,000 times over. But it's not a crime, so it's fine. It's all right. Their gazes meet, and Aloy nods her agreement, trying not to notice the way the soft white lights illuminate Erend's eyes. You're so purty. He grins at her and jerks his thumb a little awkwardly over his shoulder before turning towards the first door on the right to begin his search. Aloy can't help but watch him as he moves away from her, her gaze drawn to the width of his shoulders and the smooth skin at the nape of his neck. Just reach out, Aloy, and just pitch it. Just reach out and grab. No, don't do that. Don't actually do that. Her eyes wandered downwards, taking him in, a shy giddy feeling bubbling low in her belly. Forcing her eyes to the ground, she scolds herself for the indulgence. She looked at his butt. Hello, Naranjita. Hello, she's screaming at me. My cat is screaming at me. Do you want to be picked up? Hello? She's purring. I picked her up. She's fat and old, and I love her. Hello, Nutty. Hello. What now? Down you go. What? 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 Hello? You want attention? You want me to pet you? Okay, wait 1 second, guys. I'm gonna move my laptop to the floor so I can have the space to pet my cat. Because she will not get up here where I'm at. She will not jump up. I know that for a fact. Stop. 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 1 second. Ah! My laundry. What was that? Why do I have a pen down here? Ah! Oh, shit. This is a bad idea. I have so many wires. I'm on the floor now. Happy? Are you happy? Well, are you? Not the Kirby emoji. See, since I post these unedited, people are just gonna have to deal with this. Hello. Alright, let's get back to it. I'm on the floor now. Her eyes wander downwards. Oh yeah, she looked at his butt. Ooh. Just it's like that Minecraft clip of those that couple who are down in the mines, and her girlfriend is just like digging, and while she's digging, her butt is shaking. So her girlfriend decides to just hit her so she can slap her butt, and it actually hurts her because I guess like friendly fire is on. Sorry, babes. I would do that to you a lot in Minecraft. Oh no, that huh? You keep pushing down my laptop. I'm petting you, I promise. I'm giving you attention. Look, 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 look. This is me. Hello. 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 She's being very cute. Alright. Her eyes fall to his feet, just in time to see the floor panel shift the tiniest bit, the motion too subtle for him to even feel through his boot. Immediately sensing the danger, Aloy doesn't stop to think. She just reaches for him, grasping him by the bicep with both hands and hauling him towards her with all her strength. Whoa! Erend loses his balance and falls against the wall, bringing her with him. The lurching motion nearly sends her to the ground, but she manages to cling to him, careening into the firm cushion of his chest as one of his hands catches her at the right waist to steady her. Ooh, Kabudon! Kabudon! Is it like Kabudon? He's like got her crowded up against the wall now. She's just like, you know? He releases her almost immediately, but his arms still gently frame her body, his fingers just barely brushing against her elbows until he's sure she has her balance. Ooh la la. What? What, you want to go out now? You want out? You want out, you crazy little puffball? I thought you wanted my attention, huh? Eh? She doesn't want to be in here anymore. You made me do this. I'm sitting on the floor for you. I'm sitting on the floor so your big fat butt can come here and cuddle me. What? Do you want water? Food? You have all that. Do you want me to walk you to your food again? Okay. I know I already put be right back like twice already, but I'm gonna have to do it again. Because excuse me, hiccup. My poor sweet baby would like me to walk her to her food. So I'll be right back while I do that. Enjoy this image. Guess who's back? Hello all, I've returned. I've returned. Okay, give me a second. Alrighty. Right back to the action. He releases her almost immediately, but his arms still gently frame her body, his fingers just barely brushing against her elbows until he's sure she has her balance. Also, my cat wanted, just to clarify, no one's asking, but I'm gonna clarify anyway, my cat wanted me to walk her to her food. That was it. That's it, she just wanted me to walk her there. Even that faint touch causes a pleasant heat to creep up the back of her neck. Without his thick armor, Aloy can feel the rich warmth of him beneath her hands, his heartbeat. She can feel his heartbeat. It's quick and strong against the sensitive skin of her palms, and she knows her own heart is beating just as hard. Her stomach does a little flip as she looks up to see him staring down at her. How can such a simple look feel so intense? You okay? Yeah, are you? He gives a tiny nod and they both seem to freeze for a moment, eyes locked as they catch their breath. The only thing Aloy can think of is how close he is, how blue his eyes are, how she would barely need to move to find out if his lips are as soft as they look. No, not now! Ah, cats. Yes, cats. Aloy bites the inside of her cheek hard and releases him, putting some distance between them. She squats down to inspect the shifting panel, turning away to hide her face as if he might be able to see the truth just by looking at her. Oh, I love this so much. Erend picks up a bit of scrap from the ground and tosses it into the middle of the panel, causing the sheet of metal to swing downward until it drops. A loud clatter splits the silence as it hits the floor below. Nice instincts, Aloy. That would have been a nasty fall. Did your focus? No, I just saw the panel shift when your foot touched it. And I didn't think. Just grabbed you. Grabbed me, you say? You grabbed me, alright. Nearly lifted me off my feet. Guess I'm stronger than I look. Lucky for me. Aloy nods in agreement, stepping around the new hole in the ground to follow him into the first room. It appears to be some sort of office, and that of someone important judging by the size of it. The Dovers have treated the space carelessly. There are jagged bits of scrap and other debris scattered everywhere, gleaming under the stark artificial lights. I love how unique this run feels from Seika's run. It's really nice how different it is. Like you get your pretty much romantic tropes like down pat, but like listen, I'm here for them. I love them. I'm not complaining about them. It's just I like how distinct it is from what was going on with Seika's run to Erend's run because they're all different people, and it's just so great. It's so much fun. But as they start shuffling through the rubbish, Aloy notices that despite the mess, the facility seems more intact than a lot of the ruins she's explored. This has been well sealed, until the Oseram found it, at least. No signs of corrosion or water damage. That's good news, right? We might find what we need intact. I don't want to get my hopes up, but yeah, it's a good sign. They rummage around for a few moments, chatting to each other lightheartedly as Aloy tries not to remember how close their faces have been only moments ago. And they could be close again. Just gotta, and now kiss. Yeah. Parts of her is frustrated that she didn't just make a move. I'm telling you, just make a move. You should have. You just would have been just so easy. Just lean in and kiss. You know what I mean? Just kind of like, mwah, just mwah. She's still not certain if that's a good idea, but it's becoming harder and harder to talk herself out of taking the leap. She had been moments from knowing what his lips would feel like on hers, and the piece of her that wants to resist is growing quieter by the second. Aloy. Like, thing is, in this situation, she has to make the first move. I mean, she never actually rejected Erend, and Erend did flirt with her in the beginning. But like the second time they met was when Ursa had like supposedly died, and then the rest of that was him just trying to, her helping him find out who killed her, to finding out no one actually killed her at first, and they kidnapped her, to her dying. There's just a lot of shit in between, you know. So Aaron couldn't really follow up on flirting her. That was like the furthest thing on his from his mind at the time. Um, no, he still had a major crush on her. Like second game come through, considering that his own vanguard were like, ooh, like at him about it because his huge crush is massive. It's just like obvious. But yeah, like with Aloy, considering all the things she had to do, and it's just never been the right time. I don't think Eren would ever make the first move. It definitely would have to be Aloy. Also, I don't know if that's like, is that a cut on her neck? I'm just noticing that now. It is. That's like, that's not a strand of hair. I think that's a cut. That's nice. Oof. After all, they may have limited time left. Wouldn't it be better to make the most of it? Just go back to the inn and like. I'm awful. I'm horrible. That's the only thing on my mind, honestly. Yeah, right? No idea when Nemesis is coming, and it seems like it's coming soon, but you know. The sound of Eren using the butt of his hammer to pry open a drawer pulls her from her daydream, and she swiftly pushes aside all thoughts of romance at the sound of his excited gasp. Aloy, over here. I think I just found my very first data point. Oh, baby's first data point! Hello, yay! Excited, Aloy moves as quickly as she can to his side, being sure to test each panel with the tip of her boot before putting her weight on it. Eren's face is bright with excitement when she finds them, and he begins poking and swiping at his interface to send her what he's found. Her focus pings as the data transfers, and she eagerly reads the message. Ooh, 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 ooh. Oh my gosh! Ah! I'm sorry, why am I so excited? It's a data point! It's a data point! Ah! I like, listen, when I, like, I just, okay. Focus, focus. Get, focus. I won't die here. To Wyatt Mahante, from Suzanne Alpert. Subject, I won't die here. Wyatt, I want out. These people have a sick sense of humor. Naming this place like it's some kind of paradise for those chosen by the gods? My options are either suicide or devoting my entire existence to this deranged fantasy that they can remake the entire planet from scratch. I will not be imprisoned in this metal tube for the rest of my life. And I'm not getting put out of my misery like a wounded animal either. I'd rather let the swarm take me out. I just need to find a way to escape. Whatever happened with, what was it you called that overpriced dirt submarine again? Betsy? Susie. Dirt submarine? What? Wait, no, because I know that the background of this particular moment is the background that was used in the Seiko route when they found what I'm pretty sure was the Titan submersible, which also was still, listen again, tragedy because of like what happened, but like also easily preventable. And I'm sorry that I'm not really fully sorry that I laughed my ass off, but it was very delightful. Is this also referencing that? That it can't be what's happening. Aloy knows she's seen those names before. After a quick search in her focus, she realizes why. Suzanne Alpert was an Elysium scientist who had seemingly chosen euthanasia over helping with the Zero Dawn project. Wyatt Manhat was an executive at Metallurgic, as well as the stepfather of Bashir Mati, who had planted the vantage spike she had discovered as part of what he had called his Aprocot shitstorm tour. Oh my gosh! No, no! It was an Incredibles reference. Behold the Iron Underminer. No! Oh my god, that's why is that even better? Why that's so even better that you guys managed to sneak in an Incredibles. Listen, spoilers to anyone who hasn't watched the One Piece live action and if you want to watch it, um, but that's just as good as there being a Monster House reference in the One Piece live action. Oh, okay. I was like, wait, is it a reference? You know what? That's fair. That's absolutely fair. You're very funny. No? Oh, okay. Well, good to know. I just read into things because I make connections in my brain and then I think to myself that I've connected the dots, but I didn't connect shit. But oh my gosh, I did think those names were similar. I was just so stuck on the references. But yeah, Suzanne, there's a data point in the game where you hear her talking to like a therapist, right? Because they gave like at the end of the game, they gave everyone a choice. You can work with it. This is what's really happening. You can work with us on the project, or um, you can ask for a way out. Because what's gonna happen is we're gonna work, and then we're just gonna be stuck in this giant like pit, this like underground bunker for as long as we possibly can, and just kind of delay the inevitable. And also Wyatt was an executive in Bashir Mati. Bashir Mati's data points were sad. And just kind of like I do love, because the first part of the game is definitely just about everyone who like came before Aloy, discovering the tragedy and the history of the old ones. Which honestly, Bashir Mati and his data points very, very much. I don't know, all the data points were so sad. It's like, happy birthday, little big man. I know it's the very first one and Aloy was a little girl, but like, oh god. And then when we went back into that bunker and listened to everyone who was there, all the other scientists, ugh. Horizon Zero Dawn has a way of making me cry. Suburban was too. I don't know. So much tears. Yeah, she does. She actually does. Oh my god. There's no like, again, the attention to detail that you guys have in this game is just wonderful. Like, just like the amount of work and love that went into this, the amount of like probably like going back and rechecking, or if you just already had that information locked in your brain, also just amazing. I respect it. There is no. This is no frivolous email. These are important people. Ayla can't help but wonder how they even knew each other. What is she talking about? What's Betsy? There's an entire correspondence here, but it looks corrupted. I'll send it to Gaia to see if she can repair it. The comfortable, confident way his hands move over his focus interface as he pushes the data over to Gaia catches Aloy a little bit by surprise. He hadn't been this adept the last time she saw him. He put in the work, Aloy! Sure, he had difficulty, and sure, he was very gruff about it, too, because he was like, geez, I can't get a hang of this thing, like, ugh. But Erend is not anything but a hard worker, you know? If there's anything he isn't, he's a hard worker. He'll get it done. And honestly, it is a little hot that he learned it so well after the fact, you know? He really put his whole... No, you know what? I'm gonna commit to it. He put his whole pussy into that. There, I said it. He did it. he's putting in the work. It's clear how hard he has been working to get up to speed, and something about that makes her heart clench. She knows he would never have chosen this path if it wasn't for her, and is acutely aware of how much he's given up to help her. Right? The Vanguard, like all like what he was doing before, he's totally all in on what he's doing now at the base. Honestly, he's at the base pretty often, and he pretty much acts as like a liaison and does a lot of groundwork. Erend, you're... I mean, that how naturally you're using your focus. I'm impressed. I could tell you've been practicing. Ah, thanks, Aloy. I still feel like I have a big gap to close a lot of these days. I hope I haven't been too much of a drag on progress so far. A drag? Erend, you've had so much thrown at you since we met. You've handled it all so well. Aloy bites her lip, wanting to reassure him, wanting to do more than that. He wants her to bite her lip. You know? He deserves to know what his present means to her. What he means to her. You know, like, it just, I couldn't do this without you. It feels right. You deserve to be on my team. It's not about deserving. Even though I do feel like Erend, to some degree, might feel a little undeserving. It means a lot to have you with me. Like, make this, I don't know, I like, should I eeny meeny miny mo this? I can't believe I didn't realize that the cursor was a focus. Anyway, eeny meeny miny mo, catch the tiger by its toe. If you haul and let it go, eeny miny mo! Means a lot to have you with me. There's a big emotion rising in her chest, and it loosens her tongue. Makes her feel reckless, jittery, bold. She's tired of holding things back from him. Not only do we make a great team, but there's no one else I'd rather have at my side. It means a lot that you're here with me. She pauses, fiddling with her fingers for a moment before plunging forward. You mean a lot. We're gonna be real direct here. There's a look of pure surprise on Erend's face at her words. His cheeks flush, lips parting slightly, and for a moment she wonders if he's going to respond at all. Aloy can feel a strangely pleasant tension building between them in the silence. Like, this feels like the moment where someone, at least in a fanfic, just like pushes against the wall, starts making out. That's not what's gonna happen, but there's like, I like that there's like this sweet little bubble happening here right now between them. I don't know if that's the right way to say it. Aloy, that's... Oh, look at his face! Ooh. He's so cute. Look at that. Ah! The tip of his... I know I've already, like, gushed about how his blush gets up to the tops of his ears. Also, I realized that it does reach the tops of her ears, too. But, like, the flush is also up to her forehead. I keep gushing over that. I just still love that detail. Aloy, that's... Thank you for saying that. You mean a lot to me, too. More than you could ever know. She looks into his eyes. For the first time, allowing some of the things she's feeling for him to show on her face. Or at least she hopes it shows. She certainly doesn't have the strength to give voice to them yet. But she can't seem to hide them anymore. Again, going back to when you first saw him again after, at the beginning of the Forbidden West game. Just the look of pure happiness. You're very capable of it, Aloy. Of showing it. I think I'm beginning to understand. They smile at each other a bit awkwardly, and Aloy turns back to her focus to scan all the room, confirming there's nothing else worth examining. Moving slowly and keeping an eye out for new traps, they make their way back into the hallway and over to the next room. Halfway down, they come across what looks like some sort of data storage room, but the lone power cell inserted into the port is dark and lifeless, as are the rows of server towers that fill the space. You know what? I never actually realized that was the name of those things, but now having it actually named, I'm like, that makes sense. I'm not very tech. I'm like, listen, I'm not gonna say I'm not tech savvy. I'm obviously kind of tech savvy. Water. But I was not tech savvy enough to name that those were server towers. Gosh. I don't even want to think about the logistics of all of this. it's sci-fi. It's not really feasible, and considering all the AI data centers and how much water they take up, I really have to wonder how this was done when, you know, the the Pharaoh plague like destroyed the planet, like including like a lot of the water sources. So to keep this all running, you would have to keep it cooled. I mean, I know a lot of it was like underground to account for that, so I think that was what was trying to get it cooled. But like, it's just crazy to think about the scope of it. Damn, totally dead. Let's see if we can find that power bank. Maybe there are some fresh shells? She stops as Erend begins to slide the dead cell out of its slot, turning it over in his hands as if it doesn't weigh as much as a disc launcher. One of them went out at the base. I fixed it by tightening this bit here. He pops open a little panel towards the bottom of the cylinder and twists something inside, scrunching up his nose as he wrenches at it. Just like that, it begins to glow white in his hands. Okay, I'm sorry. I know I was reading it, but now I feel like I'm doing that same like face that Aloy's making right now. Like the whole like 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 I'm just listen. This is who I am right now. Like I just 1 second. I just need to show how I'm feeling about this right now because this is crazy. Oh my gosh. Like I'm just surprised. I'm just surprised Pikachu right now. You know what? I'm just gonna surprise Pikachu. Why does it automatically do it like this? Surprise! Surprise Pikachu face! Is it just showing my thing right now? Or is it just... I suck at this. I suck at this so hard. Ah! This is just kind of how I feel right now. Oh my gosh. Let me just delete that now. Yes. Oh my god. The actual effort that I put into just showing you guys my little memes. Because I don't know how to put it on here otherwise. Oh my gosh. You know, I mean, not every Oseram is tech savvy enough to just, you know, have... Not everyone has tinkerer tools, you know? I'm going D&D with this. But, like, it makes sense that some Oseram are just smart enough to just go, like, oh, that's not working? Just kick it. I mean, that's not what he does, but that's a little... It's a little sexy. Just, I don't know, competency, it's such a low bar, but competency and having some, like, idea of, like, we didn't even have to look for the battery. He was just like, oh, this happened before, I can fix this. Did it burn? My good sir, did you just fix that? Yes. And, like, it isn't even, like, a gender thing, like, just the level of competency is just, like, it's not even a huge bit, it's just sexy. Ha! I told you! I think it's just a flaw in the design. Too much in the heat and it expands, knocking the connection loose. Now let's see if that does the trick. And he knows how to explain it too. I'm pretty sure there's actually some explanation to this, that like this is actual way how batteries work. And kudos to whoever wrote this. I'm gonna have to look this up later. I guess. Oh my gosh. Ailey grins proudly as he eases the cell back into its bay, turning it until it clicks into place and power begins to hum life into the servers. Nicely done! That's impressive, Erend. I'm going to pull in a data dump. Maybe we'll have an uncorrupted backup of that email chain. But let's keep it moving. The sooner we get out of here, the better. As if to prove her point, the ground begins to vibrate beneath her feet, with enough force to make the servers rattle in their frames. Not a rock breaker. Is it a rock breaker? What was that? An earthquake? Not sure. Come on, let's keep going. If the tremors get stronger, it might cave something in. Does anyone remember or ever seen the movie Tremors? Like any of the movies? I'm sorry. I know it's just a word, but I used to, when I was younger and we once upon a time had cable, I watched Tremors on Sci-Fi with Kevin Bacon and some other dude. And honestly, it just left an imprint on my mind. Those movies, the first three movies, the other ones are shit. The other ones kind of gradually got worse. You have. I'm sorry. For some reason, you saying that makes me think. Return the slab or suffer my curse. we it's a little on the nose. Like we entered the realm of the pyramid and we have kicked out the tremors because we triggered the curse. Oh my gosh. No. We had disturbed the dirt, and the dirt is unhappy. The dirt is shaking us now. Shaking us in our little box. I'm like, not sure. Come on, let's keep going. If the tremors get stronger, it might cave something in. Or it might cave into the area. No, don't cry. No crying. It's fine. It's not scary. This is not a horror game. I say as memories of me running from machines as they all come at me at all sides. As I scream and run in terror trying to get my weapons equipped to take them down. I gotta stop that. They continued down the hall, briefly scanning the remaining rooms for anything worth investigating. But they've all been stripped clean. At the end of the hallway is a set of blast doors, taller and wider than anything they have encountered so far. Aloy reaches out towards the hollow lock, trying to shake off the apprehension. No, I clicked it! I clicked it again! I did it! I did the thing! Ugh. She's trying to shake off the apprehension. I do love the sound of her, like, the metal groaning. But yeah, her trying to shake off the apprehension that's building behind her sternum. The door makes a loud grinding noise. Like, have you ever heard Matt Mercer make, like, door opening noises? I truly can't, I'm getting distracted, but, like, I truly can't understand that a human being can make those, like, sound effects like that just with their voice, just with their vocal cords. The door makes a loud grinding sound as it begins to part, making them both jump in surprise at the sound. Inch by inch, it reveals the room beyond. As light... Ooh, look at that. Look at the little glowing, like, bioluminescence in the background, like, dripping water. Once again, it's beautiful. Like, it's just beautiful. As light from the hallway spills into the space, Aloy realizes it's not a room at all. Instead, a cavernous void yawns before them, part natural cave and part carved out by tools. One side of it narrows into a tunnel, though the darkness makes it impossible to tell how deep it goes. It's cutting out? What? Okay, 1 second. Let me see. It might be my Wi-Fi. Give me a second. Oh, it's definitely my Wi-Fi. Because I see that my... Okay, I'm gonna say it out loud as well. Just give me 1 moment. I'll be right back. I'm having technical difficulties, folks. Okay, going on coming back. Okay, it says my frame rate has dropped. Am I cutting out again? Is that better? Hello? Okay, hopefully... Oof. Yeah, I think it's my Wi-Fi. We switched Wi-Fis recently, so that might be what's happening. It's just like... Kind of hate that so much. Also, welcome to the stream, Matt. Thank you very much for chatting. Yeah, I don't know what's happening if my mic is still cutting out. It says here in the stream on Streamlabs that a frame rate dropped over the last 2 minutes. Yeah, it's my Wi-Fi. Um, let's just, you know what? T-Mobile sucks. Because I had Spectrum, and we wanted to make the change to a different Wi-Fi because T-Mobile is much cheaper. But unfortunately, it seems like it is the inferior option, which we already knew. But they said they had new towers and more connections, so we thought it'd be better. But unfortunately, it's not. Ah, lay sad. um, let's just continue on for a few more minutes more. We're almost hitting the 2 hour mark. Um, and we'll see. The mic it's fine. I think it's so. But yeah, I think I'll be ending stream soon if this continues to be like this. My sad. Alright, continuing on. One side of it narrows into a tunnel, though the darkness makes it impossible to tell how deep it goes. At the opposite side, Aloy can make out another door and a large observation window, too scuffed and dirty to see through. Artificial lights blink on around the perimeter of the space as they step forward, illuminating the outer edges of the cavern.